everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude. Today I wanted to show y'all my Villas, the Broker of Blood Demon Tribal deck. And yeah, I know Villas actually plays really hard into what you probably don't want to do when it comes to demons, and that's like heavy life loss. But I mean, the value's just there. You just can't beat the value. So let's get started with the ramp of the deck. Starting out with Bubbling Muck, Dark Ritual, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, because this is more of a like casual style deck. Jet Medallion, even though that's in there. Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Command Sphere. Oh, Cryptolith Fragment's actually really good for this deck because if the commander is out, you lose a life, you draw a card. And, you know, at the beginning, if your life total is... each player has 10 or less life, you transform it into a big creature. Then we have cards like Extra Planar Lens that probably don't belong in a casual deck, but because demons are so expensive, you kind of need them. Gilded Lotus. Crypt Gas, because he's not a demon, but he does increase our mana production of our swamps. And then Magus of the Coffers, because he taps for each swamp. And because of Urborg in the deck, doesn't matter if it's a basic swamp or not. So there's that. We're gonna need a couple things to go along with this demon and life loss plan. Starting off with a Basilisk Collar, some boots to protect it, a Loxodon Warhammer, because a boost and lifelink, I think that's pretty good. Nightmare Lash gives it +1/+1 for each swamp we control. And we're going to be playing a lot of swamps, so it's going to be pretty good. And not only that, but the equip cost is pay 3. That plays right into our commander, what our commander wants. Then we have Ivory Tower, because if we have a Reliquary Tower out and a what is it? Reliquary Tower, and you know, we've drawn all these cards, we're going to gain all that life back. And then I kind of consider this ramp, I kind of don't, because you're just kind of just throwing it out there. I just didn't know where to put it. But Quicksilver Amulet is really good for Demon Tribal because, you know, a lot of times you want to multiple drop demons. And there are going to be there's going to be a particular spell where we're going to try and make sure we have all the demons out that we need. At least 3, you know. I mean 4. So we're going to start out with the non-demon creatures in the deck. Starting out with Sanitarium Skeleton, Assembling Skeleton, and Butcher of Malakir. Those 3 particularly came into the deck because I wanted sack fodder for certain demons and effects, and you can recur them. It's simple as that. And Butcher of Malakir just makes it to where, you know what, I'm not going to have probably a lot of creatures. Let's even the playing field. So now we're going to get into our demons. Kothafed, Varagoth, Burning Rune Demon, Demon of Dark Schemes, Demon Lord Belzenlok, Scourge of the Skyclaves, Extractor Demon, and this actually has a second effect because when another creature leaves the battlefield, you may have target player put the top 2 cards of his or her library into the graveyard. So it's kind of like a mill plan, kind of sort of. Demon of Catastrophes, there's that sacrifice clause. Runescarred Demon, Abhorrent Overlord. I still haven't got the tokens for that. I gotta find some tokens for that, for the effect, because it puts out a number of 1/1 Black Harpy creature tokens equal to your devotion to black. Spawn of Mayhem, Embodiment of Agonies. Nightmare Shepherd is an MVP in the deck, simply because if you have him out and it's the only one left alive after like a board wipe or something, or like you choose what creatures die effect, it just brings them all back eventually. You know, they're nightmares and they're 1/1s, but you still get their effects when they come in. Archfiend of Depravity, Razaketh, the Foul-Blooded, for some card selection. Persistent Pestilence Demon in the form of kind of card draw, removal, and dinging everybody at the same time. Dream Devourer to make those demons a little bit cheaper. Herald of Torment, kind of like life gain, life loss for card draw, or it could be a boost later on if you wanted to bestow it. And then Font of Agonies goes into this main theme of the deck because I don't really have a lot of other things that make you or give you specific have to be out there, and I just happen to have a pre-release foil from it. So let's get into the card draw we kind of need if our commander's not out there. Starting out with Night's Whisper, Damnable Pact, Gruesome Realization, Infectious Inquiry, Sign in Blood, Read the Bones, Sanguimancy, and here we come into the ones that are not spells but they're permanent. So Phyrexian Arena, Liliana's Contract, which could be a win condition if we get enough, and Liliana herself, because she does provide some card advantage if it's a tutor at the first one. And now we're going to work into our removal, starting out with Doomblade, Defile, Vendetta, Infernal Grasp, Torment of Hailfire. Yes, I know this is a very expensive card for a very casual deck, but game's got to end. Reckless Spite, Mutilate for a board wipe, and here we come into the Dictates effect, the Edict effects for every creature, with Dictator Erebos and a Grave Pact. And then we have an all board wipe except for ours in Garruk's Wake. Now before I move into the non-basics, there are 3 cards that I left out that merit their own category. And usually I like to take, some ideas from other people and kind of mold them into something and kind of put a spin on it and make it my own. Well, Brian Canada, from Cure from the Common Game, if you didn't know, he used a combination of cards that left me mind-boggled. And what it did was he was basically just finding what he needed. He could look at the top card. If he didn't like it, he'd exile it and keep going. If he could cast it, he would cast it. But it all started with the Bolas' Citadel. And you may look at the top target at any time. You may play the top card of your library. You pay life equal to its converted mana cost, rather than its mana cost. And then you could tap it and sacrifice 10 permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. Yeah, whatever. But what he did was he paired this with a Necropotence. Yes. Okay, now you just pay a life if you don't want it. So you skip it. And then you can cast the next thing. Well, I took it a step further. And I decided that if I'm going to do that, I'm going to gain life too. So I put in an Aetherflux Reservoir. So if things got a little sticky, guess what? Blah, blah, blah. Let's start the next game. That is how my brain works, ladies and gentlemen. So, going into our non-basic lands, we have, of course, an Urborg, Ghost Quarter, Reliquary Tower, there it is, the Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Tower, and the very well-loved Urza's Mine. They fit in the deck because, demons are heavy mana cost. Oh no. Ancient Tomb, that's a gold border. They let me play with it. I got some real ones, but I like playing with these gold cards that I got because you don't find them. You don't see them very often. Tranquil Expanse, Baron Moor, Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and Desert of the Glorified. Sorry, I was looking for another card. Castle Lochthwain, because we're going to have plenty of swamps. Rogue's Passage for if we can't get one of those big flying demons through, we'll just put it on another demon and, you know, just let it go. Just get it through. Cabal Stronghold for extra mana. A Westfall Abbey to sacrifice little dudes, and it also has a life paying ability, so it's in there. And if you flip it around, see if I can get it out without any. Got it. Oh yeah. And on the back side of it, it is Ormondal, Prince of Profane Prince. So it's a demon too, if I wanted to sacrifice multiple things to get another demon on the board. And then finally, Gaia Reach Sanitarium rounds out our non-basic lands. Now, I did decide to choose a specific basic for this deck, and I chose the Golgari Ravnica Guild Kit Swamps. And I just love the art on them. You just can't find art like that. I mean, you can, because it's in Magic, but for this deck, it really just, you're going down into the pit, and that black opening in that tunnel is just, it's so ominous. But got to sneeze, don't want to. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, guys. I really appreciate everybody that watches, that likes, all of my subscribers, old and new. You guys have kept me doing this, and I can't wait to see where I keep going with this. If you have any suggestions for the deck, if you're watching this long and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I mean, you've watched this far, why not? But if you have any suggestions for upgrades for the deck, I want to try and keep it casual, keep it fun for four-man pods, and not try to overtake them. But that would be appreciated. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Can't say it enough how much I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys next time in the graveyard.